If you're just starting out in model railroading, then you're probably on a bit of a tight budget, so a DC system is probably your best option for now. But what if you want to change to DCC in the future? You don't have to rewire your entire layout. All you need is a simple on-off-on switch to change from DC power to DCC. Today I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it on my track. Hello YouTubes, as you know, this is my HO scale DC powered model railroad that I'm building. Now, I was recently gifted this Bachmann Easy Command DCC control center, which is awesome. The problem is I only have one DCC locomotive at the moment. I don't want to convert my entire layout to DCC for one loco. So today, I'm going to do both. I'm going to try and make this as simple as possible. So this is your old school DC transformer. I'm in Canada, so this plug goes into a 110 outlet. So 110 volts coming in here, does its magic, transforms it into 12 volts coming out of these two wires. One wire goes to one side of the track, one wire goes to the other side of the track. Turn the power up, it goes fast. Turn it down, it goes slow. Switch this, it reverses the polarity of these wires technically. So it goes backwards. That's how that one works. This one wires up pretty much the same, but it does something completely different on the inside of this. It also has an external power supply, so that gets plugged into your 110, transfers it to, in this case, 14 volts going into this machine. These two wires, similar to that one side of the track, other side of the track. So all we have to do with this switch is divert the power coming from either the old school or the new school by means of this toggle switch. The center is off. One side would be DC, the other side would be DCC. When it's in the center, no power to the track. So let me explain how this wiring works. It's actually pretty easy. I will be connecting these two center connectors to either side of the track. These two connectors will be coming from the DC controller. These two connectors will be coming from the DCC controller. Now it's important to point out, it looks like when you flick the switch to this side, your brain would say, well, that's supplying power to there, but it's not. You need to imagine a bar going all the way down here. So when the switch is in that position, it's actually connecting that side to there. When you flick it to that side, if you imagine a bar going all the way down, it's now connecting that side to there. Just in case you get confused in the future. So all I really have to do, drill a little hole in my fascia somewhere, mount this, connect these to their corresponding power in and track out, and that's really it. So let's go on with it. So I'm going to mount my switch here for now. Don't worry, this is all temporary. Once I decide where all my controllers are going, I will replace this, but it'll do for now. Now I've only got about that much space behind this board before it hits solid wood, so it needs to go a bit there. Perfect. Now, I'm not going to wire it in at the moment because I need to take care of all my wire connectors. So, also while I've got the drill out, I need to drill a hole down here for all these wires to feed through. One set for the DCC, one set for the DC. And again, don't be worried about all the chaos here. This is actually going to be getting raised at some point by about 2 inches. Right, so now we've got a big hole we can feed our wires through. Let's see about connecting this thing. I'm going to need 6 of these little round connectors. Phillips screwdriver for my connector screws. Wire strippers, wire connector crimpers. That should be all I need. Let's get under the bench. So these are my 3 sets of wires. That's coming from the DCC controller, that's coming from the DC controller, and that is the 2 bus wires going to the track. So let me throw all these little connectors on them. Now we can connect them all to our switch. So, 2 reds on one side. Track feed to the middle. Yes, I went with household wire for the bus wire, it's pretty heavy. Not as easy to work with as the little wires. I just wanted a solid wire going all the way around the track, or all the way around the layout. Oh, behave. And finally, our wires coming from the DC controller. Wiring done. Now we can pop this in its hole. Now, of course, there's a 50-50 chance we got this the right way around, because I would like my DCC on to be that way and DC to be that way, but you know how 50-50 works. Chances are you're going to get it wrong, even though there's a 50% chance of getting it right. Anyway, I guess we'll find out in a moment. No biggie. If it's wrong, then I can just rotate the whole switch round. Let's find out. Plug in my DC controller power. Good, nothing yet. And plug in my DCC controller power. Lots of red lights, nothing flashing, that's a good sign. Now, let us test what we try first. Let's go with DC first, okay? And we're hoping that DC, that's my DC controller, hopefully if I switch it this way, then it should be DC power on the track. And to be on the safe side, I'm going to use this Loco because this is a DCC Loco, but it's also very good at running just normal DC. Let's see if it works on DC. Good. Got the direction the right way around, so this should be forward. Lovely. So now if we switch the other way, we should now have DCC power. You ready? Lovely. Let's bring it back because I want to make sure the light function is working. So light function is, press the function button and number 10. Lights are on. Lights off, lights on. Press function button again. Number 1 stops flashing. Away we go. Backwards. Forwards, please. I've got a few other things to test out before we continue. I created a bit of a stir on my last video where I tried running my old DC trains on the DCC Backman system. So I'm going to double down on that experiment and try running them both at the same time, DCC train and a DC train. So let's get my actual DCC Loco on its way around the track. Oh, let's give them some lights. Function 10. Lights on. Lights are on, and off he goes. Press the function button. Now, here's what happens. All I have to do, we'll just ignore him, we'll let him run around the track, make sure the points are all in the right place first. That one's straight, straight, straight. And this one over here, straight. When I say straight, I just mean mainline loop. Okay, now we're going to activate this train here. All these sidings are individually switched for power. So in order to get power to this line here, it will be this switch here. So if I switch this up, he should light up like a Christmas tree. And he does. In order to make him move, all I have to do is press number 10, which clearly says, for analog locomotive operation, press that. Make sure the power's down. This is interesting, because at the moment, I know what I need to do. Right, so he's going round at this speed. If I press number 2, which is nothing, then I can turn this. Train doesn't change its speed. Now, turn this speed all the way down. Press number 10. Little light is in reverse. When I turn this up, this guy should start moving backwards. And he does. And where's he going to go? Well, let's bring him all the way back here for now, beyond this set of points, and then we're going to bring him onto the main line at the same time as the DCC train, because I'm crazy that way. Switch that point, switch that point, slow this down, change the direction. Remember, I'm controlling the DC train at the moment. Turn the power up. And let's see if he can catch up in the DCC locomotive. I forgot to switch the point. Oh, rookie. Get back there. Right, switch this point to there, there, forward, go. So we now have my DC Loco chasing after the DCC Loco on the same track. Pump up the power, see if we can catch up. Many people are shaking their heads in disapproval. Whoa, I need to slow you down. So now we have DCC Loco, DC Loco chasing from behind. And if I want, I can switch my controller to, let's go 2 for now. Change it to number 1, which is my DCC Loco, CSX. And we can speed him up and escape from the disgusting old DC Loco. Or I could be really cheeky, changing the direction. Oh no, that's terrible. Slight miscalculation of speed there. But you get the idea. It works, but I know you're not supposed to run a DC Loco on DCC power. But you know what? These old Locos, that one particularly costs like $5 or $10. I can easily replace the motor if I burn it out. I installed all the LEDs myself as well, so it's an easy repair. Okay, I've got one more train I want to try, and that's this one. Let's slow down my DC Loco. Wow, this actually starts getting more complicated when you're trying to run more than one train at once, especially if you've only got one mainline loop, because I want to get him over to there. So I'll just do that for now, and I'll disable that track, which is that one there. And now we're going to try the big guy. And the big guy has got freight. So this will be interesting. Now, before I start, he's very noisy. I've tried everything to make him quiet, but it doesn't work. Right, we're going to be following on there. This could go horribly wrong. Right, I'm going to press number 10 for analog operation. Turn up the power. Oh, tell you what I do need to do. I need to enable this track. He's making a wee buzzing sound, which means he's live. Let's go. As I say, he's always been this noisy. He's not making any different noises than he normally does. My CSX on his merry way. Everything working as it should. Happy days. One more thing to do. There we go. Now, I'm not recommending you run your old DC trains on DCC power. That was purely an experiment. But you can do it with certain systems. The Bachmann system specifically says that you can run it on function 10. But you did hear a buzzing sound, and someone had left a comment. Actually, lots of people had left a comment. But one was quite interesting, was basically saying that the motor was acting like a speaker, and that's what the noise was, because alternating current acts completely different from DC. Oh, there's one more really interesting aspect to this. I'll show you right at the end of the video. Anyway, I hope that helped. It's relatively straightforward. Half of the video was just me having fun, but isn't that what it's all about? Thanks for watching. I'll see you very soon. And as I say, watch at the end. No, I'll need to explain. I have wired up my older Locos with LED lighting. If you know LED lighting, if you don't fit a bridge rectifier, then the LEDs will only come on in one direction. Like with a DC system, the power only flows one way. If you try and reverse the train, the lights don't come on. Watch till the end, see what happens with DCC power. Bye for now, take care everyone, and don't do what I just did.